Can you tell us something about your early background, about your family, where you were born?
Oh, I didn't know you was going to ask me questions.
Yes, we are. That's the whole
I
idea
thought
of
this
interviewing.
was a hotel.
Yeah,
It is.
We'll get to that, but we wanted to know a little bit more about you, too.
Yeah. No. Just a couple questions.
Yes, oh, sure.
Where were you born? Out in Canada?
I was born in Canada, and I was only 4 years old when my father bought a farm on the New Hampshire side.
Where about?
With a bed. Well, I don't think they called it Hall Stream because it's way in there. It was Pittsburgh Township, but it's just across the river from East Hereford, you see.
Yeah, I bought my,
Keezer Farm, yes.
What was that, the Keezer Farm?
Yes.
That was the Keezer Farm.
The Keezer Farm, and you were 4 years old.
Yeah.
Yes. When you moved there as a little girl.
Yeah.
So then, did you grow up there?
Yes.
Yeah.
And went to school up in that? Did you go to school in Pittsburgh, or?
No, they had an English school there, right in the pasture. Well, we were on the farm right here, and then there was Dean LaPearl's folks lived next, and then there was Jubal Wheeler here, but we could go across in the wood, mind you. They built a school way over there in the woods for us, English school.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
And I went there until I was about 9 years old. Now, of course, then my folks wouldn't have that anymore. They were very strong Catholics. And so we got shipped to East Hereford at the French school. Yes.
Yeah.
So I finished French school, but I didn't finish English school.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah.
My religion and everything.
Yeah.
How many in your family, Mae?
12.
Oh, big family, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. And so then,
where were you in the ranking? Where did you come in?
I was in the middle.
In the middle, yeah.
Yes, I was in the middle. Yeah. Because I had an older sister that died when she was 21, and I had, let's see, well, not quite in the middle, more towards the end, but anyway, I must have been the sixth one. Yeah, on the middle.
Halfway point. Yeah.
Boys and girls. You had brothers too.
Oh yes.
Yeah. What was your maiden name?
Delon, D-E-L-O-I-N.
Oh yeah.
You know that.
Sure.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. How about now, some of your early jobs when you got out of school? What did you do work-wise?
When I got out of school, well, I stayed home till I was about 16. I didn't know you were going to interview me. I'd have been ready.
Oh, no, this is
you're
more
ready
fun.
enough.
You're
We're
ready
almost
for us.
done here. Yeah.
You can snow us right under. You're all ready. Don't worry.
Yeah.
You said the Monadnock and LaBar.
Did you go to the Monadnock
I didn't
house?
get married when I was 15.
No.
No. Yeah, wait.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Yeah, Will.
No, wait a minute now. I think all my folks, well, we had a bad fire anyway. We left the farm. We all left the farm, and we moved to Massachusetts. And that happened to be during World War I. Or somewhere around there, I guess. But anyway, so I lived in Worcester for a good many years. And when I got old enough, I worked in the store. I used to remember the name.
Down there in Worcester?
Yes, I worked in Worcester. I lived there. My folks left, but I stayed on there.
By yourself?
Yes, by myself until I was around 20 years old or so. And then I met a man, linotype operator, and I used to board out after my folks left. We couldn't with a family, you know. And then from there, after a while, he went to New York and worked in the newspaper, the linotype operator. So I went down there where he was, and I stayed there for a while.
Where was he, Mae?
And well, then that's when I started to follow the hotel business. So I worked in a hotel, And I lived there for a few years, and I got terribly sick. I got cold, and I had to sit in a chair. I couldn't sleep laying down, so I came home for a while. My folks lived in Beach Falls then.
They had gone back to Beach Falls.
Yes, and well, after they left the farm, went to Massachusetts, they came back to Beach Falls. I never lived in Beach Falls. So and I was supposed to go back and marry him. So, yeah. Well, I was home for a while, and I was looking for a job, and finally I landed at the Monadnock Hotel.
Oh, it's funny the twist that your life takes,
Yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah.
So you just weren't, what did you do? What kind of work did you do?
You know, of course, I had experience with the upstairs work, and that's what I did. And in the wintertime, until I got married, I used to go to Connecticut and live with my sister in the wintertime. I had a sister, married sister, lived in Hartford, and I used to go down there and live.
Did you work down there, Mae?
No, my sister had 2 children, and
Plenty to do.
she lived quite a
She
lot.
was saying,
And the Monadnock house at that time was just a summer,
Yes.
a summer hotel.
So, what year was this? Like 1920, 29, something like that? Yeah. I'm just showing Mae a few old postcards of the Monadnock house, and we have one here that Mae said looks kind of like she remembered it. And let me see who owned that.
I think it was McConnell's, isn't it?
I think so.
Yes.
And then Henry LaBar bought it from and took over then.
Yes.
From McConnell.
In 1909, am I right?
1919.
1919 he bought it.
Yes.
And then, let me see here, I've got that Henry died in 1921.
Oh, no.
No, in 1931.
Yes.
Henry died in 1931.
So.
And then,
No, later than that. But
later than that, and George and Harry took it over in 1931.
Just Harry.
Just Harry.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, cross that out. Just Harry had it, and he had it in 19.
Well, later on, between 32 and 40.
Yeah.
No. After 35, sometimes they came. The whole family came and stayed and worked.
The whole LaBar family.
George, his brother George, and his wife and daughter and a chauffeur.
They all came.
Yeah, they spent 2 summers.
You know, let's see, where'd they come from?
They came from the Delaware Water Gap.
Right.
Yes.
And they all came.
Yes.
But didn't you tell me, Mae, that Henry?
Shut that off.
Sure. That was
Yes.
you were just saying
Because the people didn't know anything about Christmas trees.
1909.
Yes, they were, yeah.
And that was your Harry, your Harry's dad.
And,
Yeah,
I
Henry.
don't know whether his brother George was in Vermont. They were in company, the 3 of them at that time. Not long after that, Harry was dropped out, and they had business in Vermont.
They traveled
trees everywhere, you know.
Because they were natural
Yes,
trees.
yes.
No Christmas tree farms then.
Oh, no.
No, these were
natural
just
trees.
natural trees. Yeah,
And they had a business also in New Brunswick.
trees.
Oh, yes.
Big business.
Yes,
Yeah. Well, he must have been the first Christmas tree man in the North Country.
Well, I think so.
I think it's that 1909, it's quite a while ago, yeah, it was for Christmas
Well,
days.
I imagine that's how you got acquainted, and they had a hotel in Monadnock, you know.
Oh, I didn't
The
know.
LaBars did.
Oh, yes.
No, I didn't know.
The Deer Head Inn.
The Deer Head Inn,
Yes.
and that, over in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. We still had it. Well, I guess after HT got sick, I guess they got rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the hotel business was kind of they knew about it.
Yes.
They had experience in it.
Well, HT did, anyway.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. My goodness.
It's kind of interspersed with the tree business, so the two of them.
Well, yes, that's
Yeah.
how they got their living. They had a big business, you know. Well, then if you made $50,000, well, you know, that was a lot of money.
Yeah, a lot of money.
Oh, yes. They used take their trees everywhere. Canada, Quebec, and then my husband went on his own, and he went to New Brunswick. He had his own business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then in the summer, would your husband Harry come back and work in the hotel?
Oh, yes, he always.
He always, like he'd
From
do.
the time he came here to help his father from 1919, he always lived here.
And he'd do his Christmas trees in the winter and then be at the hotel in the summer?
Yeah.
Is that kind of the way it was? Sort of?
Yeah.
Sort of. Yeah. That's
You mean
interesting.
the Christmas tree in the fall?
That would be, we gotta have those trees before Christmas, haven't we, huh?
That's
Yeah.
Because I know a little about it, because after I got married, I went to New Brunswick too.
Oh, you would go too?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you go in a truck?
Oh, no, we went in our own car.
You'd go in a car and make your deal?
And he'd buy the trees from the farmers, and then we'd cut it. He'd tell them how to do it.
Is it? Yeah.
And they'd go right in the pasture, in the woods. Sometimes you'd be 20, 25 miles from town.
Huh.
And then they used to load the trees on. I wish I had that picture. And I've been trying to get a hold of Peter. It shows Harry. His picture was taken near a Christmas tree loaded on these flat cars, you know.
Yeah.
That's how they used to ship them.
Yeah.
And then they would put stakes on the side, you know, to hold them.
Hold them in.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen,
Yeah.
you know
Yes,
what
I
a
have,
flat
yeah.
car is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they cut in the woods, Mae, did they do selective cutting? In other words, your husband would say,
Yeah.
I want this one, or this one, or this one.
Well, they would get, after a while, you see, they'd have men that had experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And they most always go in July and kind of hire their men. There'd be some there that would, that knew enough about trees, that had experience, that could locate the trees where there were some, so that then we would leave here middle of October, and the men would be there. They cut the trees and make them in bundles and put them up in a pile, and then sometimes they'd have to haul them out. Then they had horses up to the main road anyway, and then truck them into the railroad. We had to truck everything into the railroad station.
Yeah.
And that's what hurt our visitors. When the EP came along and got in the business, and they started trucking.
Is that right?
They put us out of business.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before that, May, it was all the railroad.
Oh, yeah.
And then when A&P started
We
trucking,
shipped trees everywhere, Chicago, Illinois.
you shipped that
Oh,
way.
yes. Different parts.
Well, when you say the A&P, they brought trucks in, so that meant other people would come with trucks.
Oh, they did the cutting altogether different.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, they were a big business.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they only had maybe 20 carloads, that's all. Of course, his father, and of course, George took over. He had his father's business. He was bigger than that, but that's what we had.
Now, when you said George, do you mean, you told me old George and young George, do you?
Oh, no, that's old George.
That's old George we're talking about. Yeah.
Harry's brother.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Well, they would cut 100 or 150 carloads, then we have no more than that.
Yeah.
until the Depression came, and then it was smaller.
But then at that time, were both Harry and old George working like partners, kind of,
Well,
in the Christmas tree business?
well, as long as H.T. was living,
He was the man.
oh yes.
He was the head honcho.
Yeah, yeah. That's interesting, isn't it, Joan?
Worked together.
Yeah.
Oh, they had a big business.
They had a big, big business. Yeah.
Yeah. Big paying business too.
Well, did Henry have much? Did he stay in Colebrook and run this hotel, or was that your Harry that did that?
Well, he ran the hotel until he was sick in '71. He was taken sick.
He got sick, and then your Harry took over the managing for him. I get it.
We had to.
Yeah, I see how it was. Yeah.
Because his mother was still living, and
Over there in Pennsylvania, over in Delwater Gap.
Yeah.
She was alive.
until she went until 35.
She died in 35.
And I guess she lived 4 or 5 years after he was in the home. H.T. did.
H.T. lived, he went back to Delwater Gap?
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Well, then the LaBars, I wrote down that they sold it in 1944. Does that seem right? To Harry Dunn? Does that seem? I guess that was Dr. Gifford that said that.
Well, somewhere around there.
And then
42, 43.
right in there, probably they talked about it, for a while, and then finally it got signed. And then Harry Dunn only kept it for about a month, and then he sold it to Ethan. That's what it says, he only kept it a month.
Well, of course, he was running the other place.
He ran the Monadnock, the Colebrook House.
You see, that was too much anymore.
Yeah.
So then he sold it to Ethan Allen Corporation, is that right?
Ethan Allen, yes.
Mm-hmm,
But of course, you see, they were very, very friendly with the Morrises.
This is the Dunns and the Morrises were good friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, Morrissey and Insel had Ethan Allen.
Yes, right. And they were kind of close pals.
That was before your time.
Mm-hmm.
That was before your time.
So then actually Ethan Allen had it.
They only had it
Let me see.
2 or 3 years.
Yeah, they didn't have it.
Was it more than 2 years?
No, let's see. I got it. 1944, and then they sold it to Our Lady of Grace. 1948. They had it. Does that seem right? Probably. 1948.
Well,
more or less.
I think that 48 is right, because I remember Fred Harrigan talking about when the sisters first came down here. Yeah, I think that was the date.
well, years go by fast.
Oh, yes.
You know, that's a long time ago.
Yeah. And they meld one into another,
Yeah.
so you really... Yeah.
And then Olga.
It was a very bad time.
Yeah.
Well, Olga sold it. Then Olga sold it to us, to the town of Colebrook.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who did they sell to?
Ethan Allen,
Yeah.
they sold it to the sisters.
And then who did the sisters sell it to?
Yeah.
Then the sisters sold it.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
To the
Yeah.
town. They sold it.
Yes.
Did they sell that to the town? Didn't they?
The school.
School district, maybe.
School,
They
They
Well,
sold
I
it.
know it's the same thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Money's coming from the same place.
Yeah.
Because I can remember going to school meeting. I used to go to school meetings then.
Well,
Were you living here? Oh, yes, you were.
Not in 48, no.
Not
We didn't come till
48?
56.
You?
Oh, yeah.
I lived in Colebrook before I got married, and then I moved away, and then I moved. Yeah, then I moved back to Colebrook in 1957, 58.
I can remember seeing your husband walk.
Yeah, we lived down there. Yeah,
On Bridge Street across the mud.
Sure. Yeah. Well, but when the LaBars had that Monadnock house made, they added on a wing didn't they?
Yes,
In,
because
now,
you can see
now,
in the
that's what,
picture. See?
now what, did they add? They add this whole thing on here?
Yes. You see?
Yes, I do see, May.
Yeah.
Look at that, Joan. You can see
Yeah.
that where they added on, see the buildings?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This whole thing was added on. Actually, this here,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Not all the way back, though.
no,
Not all the way
not
back.
all the way back.
No.
Well, that was a big job.
Oh, yeah, they renovated it. It was really a shack.
Mm-hmm.
On downhill.
They had to do the plumbing. They had to do everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Yes. Yes.
Wow.
He sank a lot of money in there.
Well, that was, so then you and Harry, got married.
We got married in 32.
You got married in 32.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you ever do any cooking there? At the hotel?
Oh, yes, I had to do all the things.
Well, I've always heard that Mae LaBar is the most wonderful cook in the town of Colebrook. It must be why.
Well, I'm glad you said it.
It's the truth. Everybody says it.
No.
No, I said that. This is Ellie Gooch. It said, I always heard that Mae LaBar was the best cook in the North
Well,
Country.
thank you, but I don't want to take that.
Well,
Hey, take whatever's coming
it
your
when
way,
you
man.
can. Yeah.
I had to learn a lot of things, to do a lot of things.
In the
bet you did.
hotel. You had to fill in everywhere.
But I really missed it.
After you were out of the business.
Yeah.
I bet you liked the people and comings and goings and lots going on.
Now, when you were there, May, was it still just a summer resort?
Yes.
It never got into the year-round traffic? Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether the Collins kept it open year round. I don't know. Roosevelt would know more about that, perhaps. I don't know.
Well, that's interesting, May. Then I'll bet, I don't know when this was put out, but it's really nice. I'm going to get it copied. Is this kind of the way you remember it, May? The lounge?
Oh, yes.
And this would be a bedroom?
Yeah.
In the ballroom?
Yeah.
And look at your dining room. Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that neat? And look at the lobby.
Yes.
And that's the way it looked. And there was an elevator too, May, in that building. Call that the ladies' lounge.
Yeah, this is the lobby.
That's the real lobby.
We had a lounge. No, that's still the lobby because there's a desk.
Yeah, that's
This is the ballroom.
part of the ballroom.
Yes, but the lounge isn't that funny. The picture of the lounge isn't on that, but that was.
This is really the lobby, not the lounge.
Oh, yes, but well, now let me see. Because there was a fireplace on the other side. You see?
Yes.
That's needs cool now.
Yeah, throws you off.
But that must be the lounge because I don't see
No, I don't see this here.
This must be the lounge.
Yeah.
Yes, it has to be because you see there's the desk and then the fireplace is here somewhere and around there. That's where you went in the dining room and that's where you went upstairs and that's where the elevator was because we're the one that put the elevator in there.
Oh, you LaBars put the elevator.
Yes.
It's the only elevator in Colebrook, wasn't it, at that time? And well, I guess we. Yeah. Right. That was a big job. Huh? Big job.
I'll say it was.
I'll bet.
We had the apartment for a few years over Brainerd's drugstore, and I know I had to board those people.
That put the elevator in?
Yes.
Is that right? You had to cook?
I don't know. I don't know what the deal was.
But you know you had to work.
Yeah.
And one winter, this is funny, one winter, I don't know how the kids got in there, and some of the electricity part hadn't been shut off anyway, and they went and played with the elevator. Yes.
Yeah.
And of course, Peggy Dixon was one of them.
Who was, May?
Peggy Dixon was one of them, Michael. Now, I can't remember her because, of course, Ina was a very good friend of mine, but Ina.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, my daughter was.
That was kind
Can
of
you
tough.
imagine that? They went in there in the summer, in the wintertime. What if they'd have got caught? The elevator would have stopped.
Yeah, nobody would have known what to do. Yeah.
Well, that's kids for
Peggy
you.
was
kids.
adventurous.
That's kids.
Yeah, that's kids for
Oh,
them.
yeah.
They broke in the back door somewhere. Anyway.
Oh, that's, isn't that funny? So funny.
Yeah. Well, that was, of course, they go to the city and they, I imagine maybe all these kids must have ridden in an elevator before.
Sure, yeah.
Because they had them in the city.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Tell you.
Because I know I used to be in the city.
Yep. So
Yeah,
that's,
this is the lounge. This has to be. Well,
Yeah.
of course, you see.
I see that
You
fireplace.
see the fireplace is on the other side
Yeah,
in the lobby.
yeah.
Rather close. Yes, this has to be the lounge. But I couldn't see that too much furniture there. That's what kind of fool.
Well, I suppose it depends where they took
But
the
it does
shot
say
from.
lounge, so
Well, it says that.
it
but-
has to be.
But yeah, but they might not always be
Yeah.
right, but that's the,
Is this a brochure of
oh, it's an antique hotel.
isn't that?
Yeah, we'll
That's neat to have it.
We'll
Yeah.
copy
Yeah.
that and put it in with the
Yeah.
Monadnock house. May, when the LaBars had the Monadnock house, was it awfully busy? Did you have an awful lot of people come and go?
Yes, they used to stay, you know.
I wondered, they wouldn't, it was not like an
We
overnight.
didn't have too much overnight business. They would come. Some would stay a week, some 2 weeks, some would stay a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a couple that stayed 2 months. Yeah. Either Van Dyke, he used to stay most of the summer. One of the Van Dykes, you know, the
Yes.
famous Van Dyke.
Was it
She
George?
used to spend the summer with us.
Now, who would that be?
Well, she would be old George, the one that built the house over here on the corner. That
Right.
would be her brother, the one that had the money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Old Tom and old George, and she was a sister, but she never married.
She never married.
No.
You were the maiden lady.
Yeah, but she came and stayed. She
Yeah.
came and stayed.
Then she probably became a part of the town when they stayed that long.
Well, yes.
She came after year
Well,
after
she had
year.
relatives here, Tucker, you remember? Cliff Tucker and
No, I wouldn't have known.
Van Forest. She was raised.
Well, the
Van
Van
Forest,
Forest.
yes, the Van Forest, yes.
was,
Yeah.
Well, since we're talking about the Monadnock house, I should say, for sure, that our famous Harry Thaw stayed there before your day.
yes.
And let me see, he was there, I wrote it down, May. He was there in 1913 and stayed in room number 6. That's what the book says. And then it says that President Harding came and he stayed at the hotel in 1921, which would have been just before Henry LaBar bought it. He was there, Harding was there in August, and Henry bought it in December, it said. So we had,
Yes, so I think it was in the winter. that
yeah,
he bought it.
yeah. So,
You see, Harry was very happy where he was living in Vermont, but his father couldn't swing that. See, he bought the hotel, so Harry had to come to Elton Island because Harry stayed on.
Harry lived in Vermont for a while, though.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that. No, I didn't
Oh,
know. Well, May, did they have wonderful dances in that hotel when you were around? Dances in the ballroom? I noticed they had a ballroom.
Well,
Here we are, right here.
well, the hotels were different the way they are today.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't have too many of the younger people.
No.
No.
But sometimes they might have an orchestra or something on the weekend or dance.
No,
No.
we never did.
No, never did.
We only played cards.
Play cards. Yeah.
Yes. So if we didn't have a license, we should have had liquor license.
Oh, you didn't
That's
have a
where the money
license?
is, where the money is.
Yes, indeed.
It is now.
Harry's mother wouldn't have that of course his father, I guess, wouldn't either. And
No,
then Harry had it.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I don't know who built the golf club, do you? Did you people?
No, we paid for it.
You bought
From
it?
the place.
Yeah, it said that.
Well, I don't know. They put so much money in it anyway. I don't know just how.
How that came in.
We own 75% of it.
Of the clubhouse. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Well, the golf course.
Yeah, right. Yeah, surely.
Swimming pools were not so much the in things in those days. That came later, I think,
It's still,
along with the golf course.
still isn't used too much because they did away with them on at the clubhouse.
Yes, that's too bad. Too bad. But I guess they felt it was too expensive.
Well, I think it was a nuisance because I know when we played golf up there, the kids used to use the pool and the go lady all over the place.
Yeah.
Well, you were a golfer, weren't you?
Well, I used to play a lot. I wasn't a golfer, but I played at it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Had a good time.
Yeah. I don't think they played as seriously then as they do today. They make millions, the women's, yeah. Yeah. But, well, when the golf course and clubhouse came up for sale, May, people said that, they wanted the town to buy it. Did you ever hear that? And I know that, I think Rick Stickney said that the fellows were all away in service, and so, you know, they couldn't pull it off.
And of course, you see, during the Depression, if you did get a
May, after the Monadnock house was sold, you and Harry stayed on in Colebrook?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And did Harry, work, or was he kind of, retired, or?
Well, we still have our Christmas tree business.
You still in the
We still had that because we moved next to Trudy George before we bought this house. Oh, yeah, that was Donna Horshman owned that house. And
Right next to
we
Trudy.
lived there for 2 years.
Right next to Trudy.
Yes.
On the left-hand side of Trudy's?
Well, on the upper side,
Yeah.
going down.
Going down the street. Okay.
Carol's son is there.
Yes,
Sure.
Gray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We lived there for a couple of years before.
You came in here.
Yeah.
That's interesting, May, because George LaBar and Betty lived there for a little while, long while afterward.
Yes.
Same house. Yeah, kind of interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
He had come home from the service, and he was very sickly. And they lived in that little house of Stevens, next to the furniture store. It used to be the furniture store there, that little house.
Surely, yeah. It's a
very
hair
uncomfortable
business now.
And they couldn't wait for us to move out.
Yeah.
So they could, so.
Yeah.
Oh, near where Silhouettes are. Near the Silhouette house?
No, I think she means up on Main Street. You're talking about that little house on Main Street where George lived?
But it's across, well,
I know where you
know where Trudy lives, but it's right up next to her. She sits way back.
That's where the Grays live.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Grays.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's been made over.
Yeah.
Yes, Donna, Betty's sister, Washburn owned it. They owned it.
Oh, they did?
Yes, and he was being transferred to Lisbon.
Uh-huh.
That's right.
And then Shelley Gray came in after that then. Yeah.
May, do you remember the old Bluebird Pavilion?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Did you ever go dancing there?
Oh, yes.
Did you? Yeah. Was that wonderful? Huh? I've seen pictures of it. It looks so
They had
wonderful.
all the big bands,
Oh, it had to be marvelous there. And it kind of you go over there like every weekend dancing, or, well, quite often, a whole bunch of you get together and go over. And wasn't that just something that burned? Let me see, when did that burn, May? Let me see, I've got that written right down here somewhere. Didn't it burn on Fireman's Ball that night? The Bluebird was built in 1926 and it burned in 1931. Only 5 years lasted.
31?
That's what Dr. Gifford says.
Oh dear. Maybe.
But it didn't last. It wasn't there.
The town hall burned too.
I don't know when that.
Oh no, I can't think of his name. Fred who? And my husband. They were the committee that built the town hall. This town hall.
This one right here.
Yes.
That Beecher did the work.
They were the committee. They gave him $20,000 to build that town hall, and then people find fault because
Remember the town hall before it burned?
Yes.
Was it wonderful? Did they change it a lot, or did they build it back the way it was?
No. Well, I guess it was pretty much the same.
Didn't change it that much?
No. It was
kind of the same?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was about the same thing, I guess.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And of course, and at one time the jail was right there. Didn't they have a little jail out back of there?
On the other side, yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, little jail.
Keep everything together.
Yeah.
When of course, the courthouse used to be next to this house, but then Ted LaCour bought the lot in between here and built a store. And then the butcher bought the store, and he used to smoke his hands in the jailhouse.
John LaFon.
Yeah. I guess we didn't have too many bad people. The jail was free. Had a room for everybody.
Well, they may have had something over there after they rebuilt the town hall.
Yeah, or maybe they lugged them up to Stewartstown. Yeah. I'll be darned.
Maybe they.
Yeah, that's funny, Mae.
Oh, it's good stuff.
So funny. But you do remember that old Bluebird, huh? Then I was going to ask you, Mae, now, I know you said you were originally Catholic. You were born Catholic.
Yes.
But then when you came to Colebrook, you didn't go to the Catholic church, did you?
No.
No, because you're a Methodist, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know you make divinity fudge for that Christmas sale. Huh? Yeah, she makes the best divinity fudge.
I made it for the Episcopal too.
Okay, I gotta play favorites.
No, for both churches.
I used to go where I know to make 2 batches for her, and well, you know, all the jealousy.
When did the original Ladies Bridge Club start? Were you in on that?
Not quite, no.
Not quite.
No.
But that started back a ways, probably with Ina and Mim, Lou Walls.
Yeah.
I think of these ladies that I can remember.
Mim Jenkins.
And, Ina. Tacy Dixon.
Tacy Dixon.
Those are all the names that come to my mind right now. But there were probably others. Maybe Mrs. Hale came in and played with
pictures.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you have of the group?
Mm. Yeah.
Oh, that would be good to put in this.
Yeah, because at one time we had 5 tables.
But go
5 tables.
And now
they struggle to get 2.
2 is a big job now.
Yeah. Did you play around in the homes?
No. Well, years ago there was an old group, you know, Lou Walls and Elsie Annis.
Okay, Elsie was, this is the group I'm thinking of at first, the first band.
And Ida Jacobs and Fuller's there. What was their name?
Maxine. Did Maxine Fuller?
Yes, maybe.
Uh-huh.
Maybe. I don't know about that now.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Doris Swale.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, Doris,
right. Big player. Yep.
Very good player.
Everybody's.
Yeah.
Tommy Norris.
That was the other one. That was before this other one.
The second one, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Ina wasn't in that one. Was Ina in the first?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know when Ina came here. I don't know when she came. I know Donald was born in the house next door to us in 1932.
So she
Now,
was
I don't
certainly
know,
in
just-
Colebrook in 1932 then.
Yes, she might have come, say, in 29 or 30. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But right around that time. you know.
Yeah.
Then they also had a garden club that did Casey.
Yes,
Casey,
we had a garden
did
club.
you belong to that, Nick?
Yes, we had a
Uh-huh.
garden club.
Who else was in there? Casey.
Yes.
Now, see, these ladies were before my time here.
Casey Dixon was.
Yes.
Wasn't Casey?
And Ina was in that.
And Ina and Casey both were.
And May.
It was their core because I remember going over there.
Okay. Ruth
And
Van-
Eula Cummings and Alfie Annis, Georgie Gilkey.
Yes.
You wouldn't think so, but she did.
Uh-huh. Grace Cummings?
I would think so.
I think she did.
Mm.
Trying to think who else is. There's quite a
Right,
few.
yeah, in that
Quite a few in
original
that
garden club, yeah.
Yeah.
But some of them are just names to me now because they were gone.
Casey Dixon, Teresa Hicks.
Teresa.
Teresa,
She would have
yeah,
been.
she would have. Yeah. Ruth Kathenberg?
Oh, yes. Well, see, you're younger than I am.
Well, I read this
I
a lot.
see. That's right, because
Yeah.
you weren't here. That's
No,
right.
I read this. You know, when
See,
I
some of these ladies were still around when I first came in '56,
Yes,
and I met them through Ina
yes,
or Esther Harrigan.
yes. Oh, yes.
See, but now Ruth Kaffenberg wasn't, and Elsie. Yes, Elsie Annis was.
Elsie
Yeah.
had to be. Because she didn't leave too early. She went down to Lancaster, I think, from here.
Did she, Elsie?
I'm not so. No.
Elsie, no. She always didn't go. Oh, she lived up here one time in this apartment house, a big,
Over here,
Oh.
next door, yeah?
right here.
The blue one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up on the third floor with her sister,
Okay.
Jenny.
Yes,
Marshall.
Jenny Marshall. Now, Jenny Marshall, see, at
I
one
hadn't
time
thought-
was in Viola's house
Yeah.
at the tent.
Oh, she
Yeah.
was.
Main Street John was her husband. There was two John. There was John down the valley,
Yeah.
and John here was Main Street John.
Who was Psalm Singing John? Wasn't there one they called Psalm Singing John? No, you don't, that doesn't ring any bells with you?
How's that?
Psalm, with one of those John Marshalls called Psalm Singing John?
Oh,
No, maybe not. I could be wrong.
I know the one that lived here in the Sutton House, they called him Main Street John.
Main Street John. Okay, that's the one I.
Well, when they wanted to make the difference, you know.
Yeah, when you're talking.
Yeah,
Trying
yeah.
to make sure you
I don't think maybe they referred to that to him.
No, but, yeah.
Of course, John Sutton had names for a lot of these people. So he might have given that John Marshall the Psalm Singing John. That rings a bell with you somehow.
Yeah.
Maybe Viola's told me that.
It could be.
Used to call Min Jenkins Madame Defarge because she knit all the time, knitted all, you know, he had nicknames for a lot of these people. Those are the only two I can remember. But interesting stuff. You had good times. The place was lively and active in those days,
Oh, yeah.
wasn't it? Much more so.
Well, everything
Now-
changes, you know.
Yes.
Yeah. Especially when you get my age, because I lost. Well, I only have a sister left out of 12, and she has Alzheimer's, and she lives in Virginia. She's in the home. That's where her son lives. You know.
Yeah, this is Aggie.
Yes. Yeah.
And you and she are the last
Yeah.
of that family.
Yes. And then none of them lived as old as I have. The oldest one lived 86.
Yeah.
See, I never figured on this.
Well, we never know about longevity, do we? Till we get into it. Gee.
But Colebrook's a pretty good old town anyway, isn't it?
Yeah,
You know,
you like it here?
I love it. I love it.
Well, you've lived here for a while.
Oh, wow, I like it. Yeah, my kids live here. They like it. You've got to say we like it. Yeah, we like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one last thing that I was thinking of
Yes,
that I wanted to
okay.
ask May about. Remember the summer, I don't remember the date, the year, that you and Mim and Ina and Maggie Sauls took the trip west.
Yes.
Do you remember what year that was? That was quite a trip.
It's awful hard when we ask her.
Yes, it is hard.
We remember the trip like that.
We had
That was
the best
quite,
time.
I bet they,
We had
all the way to the
best
West
time.
Coast.
We had the best time. They all said, there's always a few jealous ones,
Sure.
But of course, we'd all be fighting by the time we got there. We never had a word.
Not a cross word.
And we had more fun. We were gone for near 8 weeks.
That's right.
8 weeks?
Yes.
And didn't you stop to see Susie on the way
Yes.
out? Yeah.
Yes.
Then you
We
stopped
went
at
out to
some.
Colorado.
Yeah.
Yes. And stayed with her a couple of nights.
Yeah. Well, that would have been a good crowd with Maggie and you and
We were
Ina.
going in there. That's kind of a small town. The roads were kind of narrow, and I wasn't driving very fast because I don't think you could drive a car. So we got stopped by the cop, and I don't know. Maybe he thought, I bet those women are drinking because we never drank in the car driving.
No.
Oh God, yeah.
Did you share the driving, Mae?
Just two of us, because the other ones didn't see too well. They both.
You and Mim did the drive?
Ina tried to drive,
Yes, she couldn't, yeah.
but she couldn't.
She was having trouble with her eyes,
yeah.
yeah.
And Min did too. Because we let him, but
You and Maggie then did it.
just Maggie and I.
And you and Maggie. Maggie was a good driver.
Well, so is Mae. Mae's a good driver.
Well, thank you. But Maggie thought she was the only good driver.
Well, you always have driven.
Oh, yes.
And you used to drive them at Wadsworth's around,
Oh, yeah.
didn't you? You were great friends. Yeah.
You see, I'm left here, all my good friends.
Yeah.
But you got a lot of good memories, Mae.
Oh, yes.
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 Yeah.
But I'm home.
And that means a lot.
Yeah.
And it's comfortable.
Well, not bad.
Yeah. No, well, I mean, relatively.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, Joan, I think, is there anything else?
I think we've covered the things that we really,
If you push that lamp over here, I don't know, that nice ceiling lamp doesn't.
Well, Joan, this has been a lot of...
I'm trying to think when that was.
about the trip west.
when I remember you came back, and in the 4th of July parade, you girls rode in the parade in Ina's
When
car,
was that?
shooting guns out the window. Do you remember that? Now, I don't remember what year that, but it was cute. The 4 of them were in the car,
Yeah.
and Ina was aiming the gun.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think might have been driving. Yeah, one 4th of July parade. Don't ask me what year.
No, what a good idea, though. For
Oh, it was
folk.
cute. It was awfully cute, yeah.
Was it the centennial?
Maybe it
I
was
think
during the
it was
bicentennial.
centennial.
Maybe
Well,
that was it.
then we know when it
Centennial, of
was.
course.
Then we know it was
It had to be.
1970.
Yeah, so, and you
Centennial.
had you just come back from your trip?
Yes.
That very
that
summer?
that was
Okay,
it.
that's the
I
date.
couldn't remember the year.
That's the date.
By golly, between the three of us, we got it down.
Centennial.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was it. Well, this has been a lot of
Oh, it's
fun.
been a lot of fun, yeah.
We'll leave you, and we'll think of other things, we missed the chance to ask
Well,
you, but we
I wish I
appreciate
had a little more excitement for you.
I don't know, you seem pretty
Hey,
excited
no,
to
you were
me.
here at a good time, an interesting time for
Very
the town.
interesting, yeah. So anyhow, we'll just kind of wind her up.
Wind it down and tell me how grateful to her we are for letting us come here and pick our brains.
Absolutely,
You have to do.
seems good to me. Yeah, today is February 25th. Joan Walsh and I are down seeing Mae LaBar for a few minutes this afternoon. Always fun to see Mae, and she had a couple things she wanted to tell us about her husband, Harry, that we didn't cover when we were here on the 12th. So Mae, what was it we were going to talk about? What was it?
He was sheriff for over 10 years anyway. Yes.
Now, was that the county or the town?
Well, not just the town, because he went, no, it covered way up to Pittsburgh.
Way up to Pittsburgh, and he had
Yes.
that whole thing.
Colebrook
Yeah,
through to Pittsburgh, but not
Yeah.
south of Colebrook.
No, I don't
No,
think
just
so.
Colebrook to
Colebrook
north to
north.
Pittsburgh.
I don't think so.
Colebrook North, yeah.
I don't remember going there with him anyway.
Oh, well, you should know.
He must have had some exciting times
Oh,
doing
yes.
that.
Oh, yes.
Let me see with that.
Well, that's where they used to attach people's wages for a bill. They don't do that anymore, And of course, he's been very unpopular he'd go
To get the money.
The factory, maybe somebody worked in a factory in North Stratford, and of course whoever was in the office, all the...
No, I bet that he couldn't have been very popular. No.
Yes, and then he always had to take anybody to jail.
Yeah.
So I remember one man, because I was with him, he had 4 children, and he wasn't supporting his wife, so they had him, my husband was supposed to arrest him, or anyway, I'm not going to tell you who it is.
No, oh no, no,
better you don't.
no, better you
a long
don't.
time ago.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I guess it must have been in the spring of the year when we were still getting the hotel ready. So instead of putting him to jail, he says, I'm going to give you a job. So he brought him up to the hotel and gave him a job, anything, so he could pay.
Yeah.
Support his family.
Yeah.
Good for Harry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, he was ahead of his time, May. I think they do that more now. Give you work so you can have responsibility for yourself. Yeah. Well, that would have been after Prohibition that he did that.
Oh, yes.
Long after Prohibition.
Oh, yes,
This will what, be like
Oh,
up
no,
in
it's
the...
after we lived here.
So that would have brought you up into the
Well, in,
40s, somewhere in
Yes,
the 40s?
yes, in the 40s, yes.
Was that an elected job? Did he have to run for that, or was that appointed, I wonder?
It's appointed. He didn't run for it, but he was appointed.
Appointed,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
No, I didn't know that he was a sheriff, no.
Yes.
Yeah, that had its good side and its bad side.
Well, he didn't like it.
He didn't like it.
Oh, there'll be a lot of aspects in it.
Well,
no.
a couple of times someone nearly ran over him,
They were that angry
Yes.
about it all.
We used to have some bad ones out in the country. I forget their names now.
Outlaws.
It isn't. Maybe some people might think it's a fun job, but it isn't.
It isn't. It isn't. Well, even today, our policemen, I think they have a hard time too.
Yes.
I really do. Yeah. It's not easy, I'm sure. Don't envy them their job. Was there anything else, May, about Harry that you thought particularly? No.
I'm sorry, but my thinker, I guess, isn't very good.
No.
You're doing fine.
I think she is too. Then I think you said you had thought of something personally, about yourself or something you had done or something.
No.
No.
Anything more about the Monadnock house that you might have forgotten the first time around?
No.
Okay.
I
You gave
wish-
us a pretty thorough.
Oh, yes, it's very good.
I wish I could remember, but it's a long time ago.
Oh, it's an
Yes.
awful long time ago.
I'm old,
I was wondering that the people that worked in the hotel for you people, were they people from Colebrook or did they come from away?
They were mostly the people from around here, yes.
They worked there.
Yes,
Yeah, maybe
yeah.
gave them jobs.
Yeah.
I get it. Well, that seems, I was listening to the tape after I got home, and you had an awful good time out there. I was laughing when you were talking about your trip west with Ina and Maggie Sauls, and how you drove out there, when you went out west,
Oh, yes.
the bicentennial time.
Oh, yes.
Did you get all the way to California?
Oh, yes.
You went the whole way,
Yeah.
and come back a
We went to
different...
Reno. We went from there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That had to be fun. Awful lot of fun.
As Ellie started to say, did you go one route and come back another? Yeah.
Yeah. So you saw it all.
Well,
Tried.
No.
You tried to.
I've always wanted to go back, but I never did. I love California.
You loved California.
Well, I had a friend there, Earl Wadsworth's second wife lived.
Gloria.
Gloria,
Wasn't
Yeah.
she nice?
So she was very nice.
Oh, and
to us.
she took you under her wing,
Oh,
probably.
yes, yeah.
And showed you all the sights. Yes.
Well, yes.
I bet she
Yeah.
took you to.
Yeah.
She was a lovely person.
Yes. Yeah, she died with cancer. She didn't live a year.
After
Cancer of the throat. She
cancer.
didn't live a year.
Yeah.
How long were you girls gone, May? Was it a 6-week thing? A month
Almost
long
8
trip?
weeks.
Almost 8 weeks, okay.
Mm.
I couldn't remember how long they were gone.
Yes.
I know Maggie had tales about it. Ina had tales about it.
Yeah.
Everybody had a version. Yeah.
Yeah.
The minute the minute we check in, poor Aggie, she'd run to the telephone and call
Call Mary Lou.
Mary Lou. Yes, yeah.
I bet she probably missed her.
Of course, well, Mary Lou did.
Oh,
Yes, yeah.
yeah, they were very.
Mary Lou is having a hard time.
Well, she almost came home once.
Did she really?
She kept fussing.
Yeah.
Yes. Because she was working, you know.
Yes.
At the time.
Yes.
She kept fussing, and I guess we got kind of tired of hearing her fussing.
I can hear Ina say that.
When we said, "Well, don't you go?" Then she didn't. We didn't hear any more about it.
Yeah.
I can hear Ina stamping her feet saying, God damn it.
Well, she was good company. You know.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
But she's uneasy.
Yeah. Well, they were awfully close.
Yes.
Awfully close. Mother and daughter.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very.
Almost too much so, really.
Too close.
Yeah,
close.
it makes it hard for Mary Lou now.
Very hard.
No, you're not right in that.
Yeah, I do.
That's all right.
That's not
No, I was
that.
going to tell you something.
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to turn around. Well, Joan and I were just visiting here with May about other things, and then May happened to mention about the Second World War and her work helping the American Red Cross, and I think that's very interesting. Don't you, Joan?
Absolutely, yes.
It'd be fun if you'd tell us a little bit about that. What did you do now?
Well, we had the Red Cross rooms was in the upstairs in the courthouse.
Right.
And I don't remember how many days we worked there, but we folded bandages for one thing, and then they would send us yarn, and we would take care of different people that wanted to knit scarves and gloves. Mm-hmm. Yes. And then people came in and helped us fold the bandages. We had boxes and boxes of those. We weren't there. I can remember 2 days a week, but I know it wasn't every day.
No, but
it could have been more. I can't remember that.
well, those the things that you did for the service, they didn't go overseas to refugees. They went to the soldiers.
They went, yes.
And the bandages would go to the battlefront.
Yes,
Yeah.
And the scarves and the gloves.
Well, for our boys
yes, for
overseas.
the boys in the service.
Right.
It was all for the boys in the service, of course. It was sent to the Red Cross,
Right.
wherever, I forget now.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you packed the things up from here.
Oh, yes.
And sent them to the main headquarters, and then they moved them from there.
Well, May, was it a hard time during the Second World War? You know, could you get the food you wanted, like meat and sugar?
Sugar was rationed.
That was rationed.
Yes, sugar. And meat.
Meat.
Yes. And of course gas.
Oh, that.
Yes. Yes. And you had to have coupon. And,
That's right.
Coupon.
A's and B's
gas
and
on
AZ and,
yeah,
I remember that.
Of course, I suppose you could cheat, but if they saw anybody driving to the golf course, you know, that was cheating. And of course, somebody reported you. That was bad, because we used to have people come from Lancaster, and they would come up by bus.
Yeah.
And Brockton, because I was tending the clubhouse, you know, when we closed the hotel, we kept the golf course. But I told you that last week, the last time you were here.
That's right.
Yes, up at the club.
Yes,
Yes. That you did that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't get very many.
Yeah.
Well, no, not with that gas.
Because, well, some of them would they'd stay at the Colebrook House and stay over the weekend, stay from Saturday to Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you said they came up on a bus from Lancaster and Groveton?
Yes.
Was there regular bus service, or were these
Well, I don't
special
remember,
buses?
but I know they didn't drive here
Yeah, couldn't
themselves.
Yeah.
They were, well, because that was the law, you know.
Yeah.
And you had to be careful. If they reported you, I suppose they'd put you down on your...
on your record one way or the other. Yeah. Tell us about your watching out on the Route 26. Airplane spotting, is that what you were doing?
Yes, but we never saw one.
You never saw
Never saw one.
Thank
But
heavens. I'm so glad you didn't.
Well, that was just... I think it was just to make the people conscious.
Yes.
It could be.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
To keep the morale
Yes,
up.
yes.
That we were all doing our bit
Yes.
to help the country.
Of course, a lot of people left and went to work in the city.
And quite a few from Colebrook went, didn't
Yes.
they? Down to the defense planes.
A lot of them went, I guess, to Connecticut.
Oh, yes,
down in that
Connecticut
neck of the woods.
plants in the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, those really were bad days, you know,
Oh,
really.
Yes.
Really bad.
Yes,
course, the
money was
farmers-
short, I'll tell you then.
Yes.
with us anyway, because the hotel was closed for 2 years before we sold it.
Yeah.
That had to be hard.
Were they war years when?
They, of course, the bathrooms kept open because they had limousine. They'd meet their guests in Whitefield.
Yeah, down at the railroad station.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they must have had a special kind of stamp that would allow them to get more gas, I suppose, because of the business they were in. Must have been.
Well, they kept open. They had business.
Yeah.
They were Jewish.
At that time, it was very much
foreigners.
Yeah, very much.
Also foreigners. Yes.
Yeah. Well.
Oh yes, things are very different.
Right. Because the farmers could grow their own vegetables and probably keep some animals. So that would help them. It was people like yourselves in business where you had to feed people.
Yes.
And the normal household that needed.
But those farmers got more gas, didn't they? They said if you were a farmer, you would get a little more gas because you needed it for your farming business, and they lived out in the country, so they qualified for more than somebody in town would get. You couldn't get silk stockings then, huh, Mae?
No.
Couldn't get nylons either. We always tried to get nylons. That was a big thing. Rayon stockings.
And cigarettes.
Terrible.
Cigarettes were hard.
Well, I guess everything was kind of
scarce.
Yeah.
Yes.
Scarce. Yeah.
But I'd forgotten a lot about that.
Well, you do.
Yeah.
It was a long while ago.
Well, of course it was.
You know, it really was. We've had other wars since
we had
then.
we had just bought this house here when we started.
When war was declared?
No. Oh, well, we worked the hotel.
When war was declared. Yeah.
Of course, I went through the First World War, too.
That's right.
But of course, I was younger.
Yeah.
You don't remember much about that, I wouldn't imagine.
Not too.
No, you'd be too little. Yeah, to remember.
Because I was born in 1906.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and see, the war was, 1918, so you only...
12.
Yeah, 12.
And before I forget it, I have a collection of frogs. You've seen them, but...
You have a frog collection?
Yes, I had around 200 or 300. I started with 4, but I've bought very few.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
Frogs all over my house.
Yeah.
Well, how did they get you started on frogs?
Well, they used, these people around here, these natives, they hated the French people, so they called you a frog. Of course, Ina would call me that when she tried to be funny.
Yeah, and you didn't care.
Tease me.
No, you wouldn't care. Yeah.
Ina would still do it.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I've got a sister-in-law who collects frogs.
But that's why, and so somebody started you on this?
No.
Started giving them to you. They started giving them to you?
No, I bought, I think I only had 4, and then everybody gave me some, and I'm still getting them. And I bet when you came in the other day, you never saw the one out there.
Well, and it's because you're French.
I hate it.
Yes.
It's because I had a good mind to tell her to take it back. Yes,
I think it's about time we let you have a rest. We've gotten some wonderful information from you, and we certainly appreciate your having us. And we'll get it down, and if you'd like to see what we've gotten down, you can.
If I hadn't come across that pin, I wouldn't have.
Oh, I'm so glad you did, though.
Yes.
We have very little on the Second World War.
Now, you've given us a lot in a short space.
World War was really bad.
Bad time.
Yeah.
But we haven't, we've got to get going on the Second World War.
Yeah. Oh, we've got a lot of ground to cover.
Oh, we got ground.
The tip of the iceberg, scratching the surface, or whatever you want to say, there's a lot of work to be done.
Yeah.
But we want to thank you again, and we're going to move on so that you